Hey guys, just wanted to check in with you. So I'm under an overhang here at the Fort Wayne Library right now. I just tried to do this video from out in the rain because it's just a light, cool rain, but I got to scale up the camera, so I guess I got smart and came in the overhang. Anyway, I want to give you guys some updates on the last couple of hours, and more importantly, I had told you that I wanted to do two videos today that are important. This one will be one of them, but because of other developments, this will be tied in with some other stuff. So, the last couple of hours, I was fortunate to meet a young lady by the name of Reesa. Reesa knew of me through a Facebook friend who friended somebody and was following the journey, and knew I was coming through town, and she was coming back from shopping and saw me and said, "Hey, if you'd like, if you haven't eaten lunch, how are you, ma'am? I will gladly get you some lunch in my place. My dad wants to meet you. My neighbors, I'd love to meet you, or want to meet you." And so that's what the story's about. So I said, well, I'm not real hungry, but that'd be great. So her house was just around the corner. I was just past New Haven, and her house is in New Haven. And she's a remarkable, what her and her husband do outside of their everyday with developmentally disabled folks and fostering and mentoring is just phenomenal, but I'll talk about that later. But I met her dad, and I met her neighbors, and the long and short of it is that their neighbors, Debbie and Mike, came to me, or came to Reesa, and said, "You think you want to stay here tonight?" So again, that's what the story's about. So the good news is, while I'm in Fort Wayne now, I'm going to backtrack up that way, and I'll have a place to stay tonight after getting to meet some people of Fort Wayne. So I've got that going for me. So I want to share that with you. But now for the real reason. I'm definitely trying to avoid the second video that I promised people I would put out there, but I'll get to that one later. So this video here is because I've tried to recognize folks along the way that have been so helpful and supportive during my journey. But as I get going, I keep getting more and more and more followers. I'm up, I think, over 1,100 now, if I remember correctly. There are two things that have to happen. One is I keep being told I have to remind folks about what the point the thumb mantra means, because there are people that are joining and they don't really understand. Maybe they've seen my backstory, maybe they just jumped on for the first time. And there's also some people I want to recognize that I might need to recognize over and over and over again. So the first part is the point the thumb journey. Started about a mantra I share with my children where I say, point the thumb, not the finger. The whole world wants to blame somebody else for their problems. And a lot of times people get into a disagreement, and they're too busy pointing out what the other person did and blaming the other person, not really hearing the communication. And if you start by pointing the thumb at yourself and asking what you could have done different, said different, maybe what you shouldn't have said, if you could do that first, a lot of times you'll see their point of view a little bit better when they do speak it, and you will in turn be able to de-escalate maybe an ugly situation. And that's what I'm trying to teach and hope catches on globally. So to the newcomers, thank you for joining, but that's one of the things there. The next thing is I want to share and a thank you to 3 people that I may not have recognized as much as I should have during my journey. The first one is a gentleman by the name of Adam Boyce. Adam's a friend of mine for a long time. One of the things I love about Adam is he can laugh at himself as much as we laugh at him, which is a lot. So, but Adam is the first guy that I shared this idea with when it was just an idea, for 2 reasons. One is I knew he's crazy enough to support it, and B is I thought at the time he had a little bit more media savvy than I've got. I don't know anything about social media, and I knew that if I was going to do this, I needed somebody that I could rely upon. I'm going to be doing the heavy lifting. I needed somebody that I could rely upon to kind of keep this message going. So Adam was on board despite being a husband and a professional and 2 kids and a father. So I appreciate him for that. The next person I got to thank leads to the third person. I met a gentleman named Luke Melhorn probably about 3 months or so ago now. And I met Luke, and he has a company called InfoQuest. And I didn't quite know at the time what Luke did, but I didn't know if he'd be able to kind of coach me through some of this stuff. And I shared with Luke what I was doing. And again, he had the right to do what anybody else might have done and say, you know, that's kind of batshit crazy, and dismiss it. Well, apparently what Luke did was he took my message and my hope, and he went and shared it with his company. And Within that comes the next thank you. So Luke, thank you for doing what you've done and for your support along the way. And then when he shared it with his company, Luke called me up or texted me a couple of days later and said, hey, I got a young man that really, really believes in what you're doing and wants to share some ideas and help you any way he can. And I met a name named Toby Valora. I hope I'm saying the last name right. V-A-L-O-R-A. And Toby reached out to me and certainly had some ideas. And I've come to find out he's a mad genius. And he dumbed this media thing down for me so badly or so well that even I couldn't screw it up. And yet I still text him every day and say, hey, can you do this for me, or how do I do that? And he just responds with me. So the first thing Toby did was he took the time to set up my media and my web pages and things like that, so that all I do is go on and make one of these YouTube videos and hit publish to YouTube, and he links it to my Facebook, to my Twitter, to my, which I don't even know how to use, to my website. If you go on my website, pttjourney.com, that whole website is all Toby. I mean, he's got a community page. He started a fantasy football league. I'll talk to you down a fantasy football league, a pro pick'em thing on Yahoo. He's got all my articles and all my media coverage. He's got my backstory. He's got a graph up there, how many miles I've gone and where I'm at right now. Essentially, I wouldn't be anything without Toby right now. The most important thing Toby did, not most important, but one of the most special things is he came out. He has these drones, and he did a drone video that he put together that's been on the news. It's amazing. And what he did, I mean, it is first-class professional. If you go on my website, pttjourney.com, you can hit the Facebook and YouTube from there. You can also have a contact me page. You can see about the shirts you could order. But look for that drone video. It's something Toby does on the side. But, you know, I owe Luke everything at InfoQuest. I owe Toby everything at InfoQuest. If you want to reach out to Toby, if you might be interested in some of those drone videos, I want to share some on my website. He's such a humble guy. He's like, you know, don't worry about it. But if you want to go on my website and see some of those drone videos, or you want to go to YouTube Toby Valora, V-A-L-O-R-A. His email address is tvalora, V-A-L-O-R-A, at InfoQuest.com. So it's tvalora at InfoQuest.com. If you want to shoot him an email, I don't know what he's willing to do in terms of for pay on the side, drone videos. If you just want to thank him for doing what he's done for me, I can't thank him enough. He's become a friend, but like I said, he's never not there for me. It's amazing, and I am so helpless that I'm in need every day. It's just a joke how bad I am and how amazing he's been. So I want to say thank you to Toby, thank you to Luke. He didn't have to open, you know, my story up to these folks. Thank you to Adam for being on board of, you know, doing what you do for me with the social media. And I wanted to recognize those folks. I wanted to come on and talk to you about what Point the Thumb means for the new people that hit the page. And I certainly wanted to tell you about today that I've got a place, I've got some great folks I'm going to be staying with. Can't wait to share their story with you as well. So thanks guys, have a great day. I love you. And I'm off to see Fort Wayne and meet Fort Wayne. Have a great day guys.